Hi everybody, I'm Jeffrey Gardner with SouthernKitchen.com. Today we're going to be making a Mississippi roast. I'm from Mississippi and my grandmother used to make a pot roast as I was growing up. It had potatoes, carrots, it featured onion soup mix as a way to kind of boost the flavor in some of the pan juices. As of late, I've seen a resurgence in some online recipes that have ranch seasoning, au jus, pepperoncini peppers. We're going to create a recipe that's a bit of a hybrid of the two and build off some traditional braising techniques to make our own dish that's going to be easy and delicious. I've got about a 3 to 3.5 pound chuck roast here. On the heat, I've got a 6.5 to 7 quart Dutch oven on high heat. We're going to create a great sear on the outside of our meat, that golden brown, delicious color that's going to impart tons of flavor to our sauce. We're going to season it very simply with salt and pepper. I'm going to go a little aggressively here because it's going to impart itself into our sauce, and it's also going to help form that great crust. Don't forget the sides. You can also roll the sides in the plate just to catch any seasoning that may have come off. I've got a little bit of vegetable oil right here. You want to grab it from the top and then put it in away from you to make sure you don't splash yourself with any oil. So we're just going to let that sit for about 4 to 5 minutes until our crust is formed. It's been about 5 minutes. We're going to flip our meat over. I want you to see this beautiful dark caramelization on this side. This is really going to add huge depth of flavor to our sauce as we build it in our pot. We're just going to gently set it down and let the other side achieve the same deep caramelization. Another 4 to 5 minutes. We've taken our meat out of our pot. We've got all these wonderful brown bits of goodness that we need to lift up. The easiest way to do that is we're going to use some onion first. The natural moisture from the onion is going to steam a bit and it's going to help lift those off the bottom of the pot. We're just going to stir that until they turn translucent, soften a bit, and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. Right here we've got some chopped garlic, we've got some onion soup mix. This is just 1 envelope's worth. And then for ease of use, I've got some rosemary, bay leaves, and thyme bundled together with a little bit of kitchen twine. Really cool part about using cast iron, you don't have to use much oil. It's going to react almost like a plancha, like a really hard griddle. And so because we don't have to use much oil, there's not going to be much in our final sauce. Our onions have softened a bit. They're going to continue to cook down throughout the braising process. We're going to add a few more ingredients. Our chopped garlic is going to go in, followed by our onion soup mix. We're going to treat these like spices, almost like you would making a barbecue sauce. We're going to let the onion soup mix toast and deepen its flavor. We're also going to add our bundled herbs together. Just let this cook for about a minute. Because we've let our soup mix toast a bit, it's stuck now on the bottom of the pot. We need to lift that up. We're going to use some red wine. This is about a cup. It's also going to impart some acidity to it, which is just going to add an extra depth of flavor to our braise. Let our wine come to a simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to add our roast back to the pot now. This is going to help us gauge how much liquid we need to add for the final part of the braise. So I've got some beef broth here. So what separates a braise from a stew is that we're only going to fill the pot with liquid about 75 to 80% of the way. The convection as part of the cooking process is really going to help break the meat down and leave you with that just fall apart, fork tender final texture. I've got some Yukon Gold potatoes just cut into big chunks. These are going to absorb all of the pan juices, just take on that great flavor. I've got some carrots cut into about 2-inch pieces. Nothing wrong with a carrot that's been braised for a long time in red wine. Final touch, we've got some pepperoncini peppers. We're going to save the vinegar and put that into the pot as well. It's just going to add that extra pop of acidity to the final product and a slight spice. With all our meat and our vegetables as covered as they need to be in the pot, we're going to bring this back up to a simmer before it goes in the oven so it retains its heat. I've got our oven set for 275 degrees. You don't want to go any higher than that for a braise or you'll run the risk of drying out your meat. We're going to cover the pot, put it into our low oven, and just let it do its work. It's been about 8 hours. We've taken our pot roast out of the oven. Now it's time to take a look at it. So as you can see, the liquid is reduced down by about 30%. This is going to be a wonderful jus, kind of a finishing sauce for the end of our pot roast. The vegetables have absorbed all of the cooking liquid, and the meat has a wonderful brown crust that we developed earlier, and it's going to fall apart tender when we go pull it up with our tongs. And there you have it, Mississippi roast. I'm Chef Jeffrey Gardner. For more cooking tips and recipes, visit SouthernKitchen.com. Thanks so much for watching.